Welcome to the SuperCrashers Invitational. Hi everybody, I'm Aaron Yonda. It's time for something a little different on the Junkyard Joust. We've got 35 cars and we need 5 cars for a brand new SuperCrashers team. Last season SuperCrashers made it to the main event, but that was where it ended with this team. Now 35 Matchbox Superfast cars are going to compete, and the last 5 standing will be the new SuperCrashers team. We've got a bunch of hungry Klingons hanging out in the junkyard right now, and they demanded more food, so we've got a hot chicken food cart run by Baby Cookie.
Alright, first course coming up.
I think this one is an ice cream truck. I can see why no one's going near it. It doesn't look particularly inviting. And of course, the chicken rings, onion rings cart. But now it's time to joust. Our track buffer has taken its place on the field. Track Buffer LLC, the sponsor. We're off to the crashes. The Citroen SM will start us off, sponsored by Hendrika's Heavy Hauling. Citroen SM takes its place down at the end of the track. Next up, a pretty beat up old AMX Javelin. The SuperCrashers are hoping at the end of this they're gonna have 5 cars that'll take them all the way to the finals. Maybe the Dodge Charger Mark III will be one of them, sponsored by Hey Hey's Hatchback Hangar. Ooh, and now that Javelin is gonna be even more beat up. The Charger severing the trailer hitch from the back of the car. There's a piece of it right there. The other piece went flying. Mod Rod number 1, sponsored by Price X Private Parts. And it doesn't look like the Mod Rod's getting on the team. Wow, you can't do that. Go down the track, belly flop into oblivion. Whoops. Next up, the Stretcha Fetcha, sponsored by Amethyst Auto Club. All of my patrons at a sponsor a car level got a car in this match. If you want to sponsor a car in this new season, now's your chance. Head over to patreon.com/junkyardjoust and you can sponsor a car and come up with your own name, like Chorgoth the Infinite Horror, who sponsored this Cosmobile. The Cosmobile does some shoving, doesn't cause any eliminations. All these cars trying to hang on, they really want to be on that team. Cosmobile is curbside. Here's a car you might remember. It used to be on the Indigo Ice Picks. It's Blue Shark, sponsored by Judy Collins. Blue Shark takes down the Cosmobile. A nice hit, and Cosmobile cannot recover. And now the Dodge Charger could be in trouble. Here comes a Mercedes 350 SL, sponsored by Sean and Patrick Hogan. Mercedes tries to take down Blue Shark, but Blue Shark is wise to that. Not happening, bounces off Citroen, makes it safely over to the crates. Next up, the Cougar Villager, sponsored by Dr. Gonzo. The Villager slams into the line and Stretcha Fetcha flips over upside down. That's probably another elimination right there. The Charger just about off to safety. The Datsun 280Z 2+2, sponsored by Jason's Bits Boys. Unusual name. The Datsun pushes some cars around, but no eliminations on the hit. Charger is safe, Mercedes in trouble. High Taylor, sponsored by Ellie's Hop Shop. Pretty much the only undercutter, and wow, what a hit. That's what we like to call at the Junkyard Joust a
Triple takedown.
The Villager, the Datsun, and the Mercedes are all out of the running. Unfortunately, not gonna be on the team. A lot of hopes dashed on that hit. Here comes the Dodge Challenger, sponsored by the Miskatonic Automotive Club. Dodge Challenger knocks High Taylor into the safety rail where it bounces back, flips over easy, and is eliminated. Good offensive car, but maybe didn't have the survivability. Model A Ford. The Model A Ford dislodges part of that trailer hitch that was still on the track. That goes flying. No eliminations though, nice hit. Locks it in. Fantastic, sponsored by Farty Marty. Fantastic rumbles into place, drives over the Mod Rod on the way there, but keeps it locked in. Model A a little bit off the track. The Flamin' Manta, sponsored by Sid from Cybertron. Flamin' Manta almost takes down the van, but then the van makes a nice recovery, and Flamin' Manta flips over sideways. Good undercut there, but it leads to the Flamin' Manta's elimination. Pontiac Firebird, sponsored by Beaks Busted Barn Finds. Pontiac Firebird smashes into the Flamin' Manta. The Flamin' Manta flips over, tries to make a recovery, but loses it at the last second. Eliminated. Here's a nice looking car, the Boss Mustang. The Mustang latches onto the Firebird with its hood. Model A is just about off to safety. The Jeep CJ6, sponsored by Mark the Music Lover. Pretty gentle hit there by the Jeep. Maybe it doesn't want to flip over. Looks like that could have been an issue. U.S. mail truck sponsored by Emo Dingo. The mail truck bounces off the Jeep. It's a solid line. The mail truck has nowhere to go. It flips over upside down. Will it stay like that? The Saab Sonnet 3, sponsored by Jedi. A lot of fancy names for some of these cars. The Saab tosses the U.S. mail truck over the side of the track. The U.S. mail truck starts to make a recovery. Hatchback on the Saab flipped up for a sec. Ford Transit, sponsored by Tim the Bear Neal. Heavy hit by the Ford, and the Saab goes up on the back of the Jeep. That Saab might be poised to get some height on the next hit. Next hit's gonna be the Mazda RX 500, sponsored by Chome. No air, but the Saab does go flying over the Jeep. The Transit gets off the track, and the Mazda RX is locked in behind the Jeep. Here's a fun name for a car, the Monteverde High. And now we've got quite the Saab story going on the field with that Sonnet flipping over upside down and out. Little competition for the original forklift. Here's another forklift sponsored by Bentley's Brakes and Bumpers. Not quite as much pizzazz as the other forklift yet, but that was a pretty fun hit. Wow, this Lamborghini Countach looks like it's been through the works. Sponsored by Chicken Rings Onion Wings. Countach takes it to the forklift, and this forklift does not have as much luck as the other forklift. Flips right over upside down, no good for that. And another elimination on that hit, the Jeep is out. Nice hit. Up next, the Siva Spider, sponsored by Chicken Rings Onion Wings. The Spider gets underneath the Monteverde High, flips it over completely. The Countach stays level, backs off the track. Nice dismount there. Not looking good for Monteverde. Here's a nice looking tow truck. Tojo, sponsored by Stump's Tree Farm. Tojo pushes into the line, and the Boss Mustang is getting pushed off the track. Not out of it yet, though. No elims on that hit. Next up, the Di Tommaso Pantera, sponsored by Sicken. The Di Tommaso, wow, that was a slow hit. Did not do any damage, but it stayed on the track. Boss Mustang looks pretty safe at this point. Coming down next, it's just ambulance. Fair enough, that's what it is. Pretty big hit from the ambulance, and it pushes the Spider way up in the air, and the back of the Mazda goes up, and you can see that's where the engine is in that car. Kind of nice to get to see that engine. Spider could be in trouble though. Here's a slightly different looking Chevy Pro Stalker than the one we saw last season, sponsored by DYW Production Labs, and it almost flips over, goes up into the back of the ambulance a little bit, but it has the ability to come back down and sit on the track. Not a great position. The Ford Escort RS2000 is going to take a shot at it, sponsored by Regal Radio. The Stalker stays nice and level on that hit from the Ford Escort and gets off the track to safety. The Pantera is getting pushed around a little bit. Whoosh and Push, sponsored by Brendan Walsh. A whoosh and a push indeed as the Pantera is pushed off the track. Slides off sideways, could be in trouble. The Vauxhall Guildsman kind of got a bent front axle maybe, sponsored by TJG. The Guildsman slams into whoosh and push, and not much happens except maybe the Pantera is going to recover. Here comes the Freeway Gas Tanker 50 grams, sponsored by Sauce Automotive Sachet and Buffet. The gas tanker loses control and flips off the track. Not necessarily out of it though. It's a little crooked, but that might be a recovery. We'll see what happens. And here comes the final vehicle of the round, 53-gram cement truck. The heaviest vehicle in the match takes a shot at the Vauxhall Guildsman, but the Guildsman is not having it and makes a great recovery way over on the right side of the field. The gas tanker, however, not able to make a recovery, and that will be our final elimination of the round. 14 of these cars out of 35 are not going to be on the SuperCrashers team this season. A lot of nice wreckage on the field. A close call for the mail truck, but it did manage to stay below the 45-degree angle, as did Tojo. We barely got a chance to meet these 14 cars, and we're saying goodbye already. Some of them performed respectably. Maybe they'll be back at some point, but there you go, round 1 aftermath, and it's time for round 2. We're going until there's 5 cars left that will make up that team. Siva Spider starting us off this time. Interesting to note, a lot of these cars in the high 30s, mostly in the 40s, and even a few in the 50s. These are solid cars. They don't build them like they used to. Ford Escort is lined up. And And it takes a scathing hit from the Mazda RX. Ford Escort goes up in the air, pretty good height for that big car. Comes down upside down, and there we go. There's the engine of the Mazda again, showing off the junk in the trunk. Whoosh and Push tries to slide underneath the Mazda, can't quite manage it. Spider's in trouble. Javelin slams into the line, and the Spider is toppled over to the side. There's still a remote chance of recovery in that position, I'd say. The Lamborghini flips the Javelin off the track. Javelin makes a nice level recovery from that, and it looks like the Spider's probably done. Mazda's in trouble right here. 49-gram Chevy Pro Stalker, nice hit right there. The Lambo is pushed off the track. Whoosh and Push nearly pushed upside down, and the Mazda is done. I guess we won't be seeing that engine again. Big hit from the Transit and knocks itself sideways. The Lambo goes upside down. Chevy Pro Stalker stays alive. Only 2 cars left on the field right now. A lot of eliminations. As the Guildsman finishes off Whoosh and Push, and the Ford Transit truck does not make a recovery. Model A pops the Guildsman off the track sideways. Ooh, that was a nice little elimination. And the Guildsman is probably not going to be on the team. Citroen runs into the back of the Model A, and it's a wall, nowhere to go. Let me know if you think I should do more invitationals for teams down the road. I probably couldn't do it for all the teams since there's 50, but I could do it for a few more. Nice hit by the Dodge Charger, knocking Tojo off and into elimination land. Almost goes off itself, but manages to rein it in. Big smash by the cement truck, and the Citroen is eliminated. The other 2 cars do a good job of staying safe. Interesting paint job on that Dodge Charger. Kind of looks like it got into an argument with some zombies or something on the road. The Boss Mustang flips the Dodge Challenger up and over. That's going to be an elimination. Solid hit by the ambulance, but the Mustang absorbs most of it, goes curbside. Firebird slams into the line, and the ambulance tips and tilts. It's nearly going over. Gonna be a tough recovery for that boxy vehicle. And look at that, the ambulance stays alive, grips the edge of the track for dear life. Nice hit by Vantastic. US Mail Truck does a repeat performance, flips over sideways. Can it make a recovery like last time, or will its luck run out? Blue Shark causes the US Mail Truck to dismount to a permanent sideways position, unless it gets very lucky. The ambulance stays alive, and that was the last car of round 2. Scanning the field, 11 eliminations in this round. Pretty savage round 2, and we are going to say goodbye to these 11 vehicles. They fought hard, but they did not make the team this year. And we're down to 10 vehicles. Only 5 more need to get eliminated, and our team is created. Which of these 10 is it going to be? If you haven't voted for which teams you want to see in next season, check out the community page here on the Junkyard Joust channel. There's still time to vote on which of the 10 teams you'd like to see compete. Some of the votes are pretty close right now. Slamming our way right into round 3, Dodge Charger Mark III starting us off. I'm telling you, this car would be great at taking down zombies with that nice low front end. The Model A probably not as good at taking down zombies. I think they'd get all cluttered up there in the front. Oh, an unfortunate hit there for the Boss Mustang, flipping over after hitting the Model A. Can it pull off a miracle recovery if it gets knocked off the track? Oh, and the cement truck doesn't let it off the track, bounces off itself, and now the Boss Mustang is upside down. Tough position to get out of. The Chevy Pro Stalker knocks the cement truck over towards the fences. Nice hit there. I saw something fly off of one of those cars. The ambulance, sensing an opportunity, tries to take out the Stalker, but look at that, the Stalker has a surprise in store. An ambulance is tossed off the track, cannot hold on, it's done. Blue Shark gets under the Mustang, tries to lift it off the track, but it's holding on with its hood. And there you go, the Javelin knocks the Boss Mustang off. It uses the hood somehow to sort of flip itself back over and leaves that hood straight up in the air. If there was an award for most creative use of a hood, I think the Boss Mustang would have it right now. Fantastic, gone curbside. The Firebird slashes at Vantastic. Vantastic makes a nice pivot and survives. Firebird slides, tries to get off the track, can't quite make it, but it doesn't matter. Wow, that was already round 3 finished. Eventful round, a lot of good competitors here that want to stay in. Ambulance, the only elimination on the round. That'll take us down to 9 cars, and we'll head right into round 4 as we try to narrow this down to the top 5. Model A Ford starting us off. SuperCrashers have to be pretty happy with that last round, seeing what some of these cars have and how they're able to stay alive. That bodes well for their team this season. Vantastic muscles its way underneath the Boss Mustang. Again, the Mustang using that hood to stop from being completely flipped over. Oh, a savage hit from the Charger, and Vantastic almost taken out, but it manages to stay alive just barely. Boss Mustang looking good. Oh, and how fortunes can change so quickly as Blue Shark takes to the track with a devastating hit. 2 cars eliminated on that hit, and the Charger survives, preventing a triple takedown. The Javelin seems a little bit afraid of Blue Shark and doesn't do too much damage there. Solid hit by the Stalker, and it pushes the Model A Ford off the track straight upside down. No chance of a recovery with that bulky vehicle. That thing is gonna be done. The Firebird gets the Javelin up in the air, but the Javelin tries to bring it back down with a recovery. Still a little precarious right there. Cement Truck, a pretty big hit, but it doesn't do any damage. The Javelin just taking off. That's the end of the round. We're gonna have 3 cars eliminated in this round. That's gonna leave 6 cars. We just need 1 more elimination, and we've got a team. Saying goodbye to the Model A Ford, Boss Mustang, and Vantastic. They performed well. Maybe they'll get another shot at this later. And now we're down to 6. Which one of these cars is not gonna make the team? It's gonna be so close for whichever car gets eliminated. Javelin is in position. Firebird nudges its way underneath the Javelin, putting the Javelin in kind of a tough spot. And a deadly hit from Blue Shark pushes Javelin up and over into the safety area, upside down. Very little chance of recovery right there, but we have seen it. Blue Shark pounding its way onto this team. It is a proven competitor, and it wants on. Cement Truck tries to test Blue Shark, and Blue Shark passes the test. Javelin tries to get up again, but can't do it. Chevy Pro Stocker takes a shot at the Cement Truck, but the Cement Truck proves durable. Sits back down and does not get flipped. And the Dodge Charger, not taking any chances, maneuvers into place, and that is gonna do it. We've got our SuperCrashers team for the next season. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to say goodbye to the AMX Javelin. It had a good run, but it was taken down by the legendary Blue Shark. And with that, a team was formed. The new SuperCrashers team. Congrats to all 5 vehicles that made it on. And congrats to all 5 sponsors for their cars making it. The new season is about to start. There's gonna be tons of new teams. There's gonna be lots of returning favorites. I hope you're prepared. I think it's gonna be a really fun season. Sponsor a car now over at the Patreon, link in the description. If you're sending in Apocalypse Joust vehicles, don't forget to do that soon. The deadline's coming up, although I might extend it by a little bit, so no worries. And if you're fairly new to the channel, you might not have seen my winter Star Wars joust on the planet Hoth. I shot it out in the snow and the cold. It's a pretty fun event. Click on the screen if you'd like to watch that. Cheers everybody, see you next time on the Joust.